Welcome back, and you should be very proud of yourself right now. We've been through a lot, but we've covered a whole bunch of PyTorch fundamentals. These are going to be the building blocks that we use throughout the rest of the course. But before moving on to the next section, I'd encourage you to try out what you've learned through the exercises and extra curriculum. Now, I've set up a few exercises here based off everything that we've covered. If you go into learnpytorch.io, go to the section that we're currently on. This is going to be the case for every section, by the way, so just keep this in mind, is we're working on PyTorch Fundamentals. Now, if you go to the PyTorch Fundamentals notebook, this is going to refresh, but then if you scroll down to the table of contents, at the bottom of each one is going to be some exercises and extra curriculum. So these exercises here, such as documentation reading, because a lot, you've seen me refer to the PyTorch documentation for almost everything we've covered, a lot, but it's important to become familiar with that. So exercise number 1 is read some of the documentation. Exercise number 2 is create a random tensor with shape 7, 7. 3, perform a matrix multiplication on the tensor from 2 with another random tensor. So these exercises are all based off what we've covered here. So I'd encourage you to reference what we've covered in whichever notebook you choose. Could be this learnpytorch.io, could be going back through the one we've just coded together in the video. So I'm going to link this here, exercises. See exercises for this notebook here. So then, how should you approach these exercises? So one way would be to just read them here, and then in Colab, we'll go File, New Notebook, wait for the notebook to load. Then you could call this 00 PyTorch Exercises or something like that. And then you could start off by importing Torch, and then away you go. For me, I'd probably set this up on one side of the screen, this one up on the other side of the screen, and then I just have the exercises here. So number 1, I'm not going to really write much code for that, but you could have documentation reading here. And then, so this encourages you to read through torch.tensor and go through there for 10 minutes or so. And then for the other ones, we've got create a random tensor with shape 7, 7. So we just comment that out. So torch, rand, 7, 7. And there we go. Some are as easy as that, some are a little bit more complex. As we go throughout the course, these exercises are going to get a little bit more in depth as we've learned more. But if you'd like an exercise template, you can come back to the GitHub. This is the home for all of the course materials. You can go into extras and then exercises. I've created templates for each of the exercises. So PyTorch Fundamentals exercises. If you open this up, this is a template for all of the exercises. So you see there, create a random tensor with shape 7, 7. These are all just headings. And if you'd like to open this in Colab and work on it, how can you do that? Well, you can copy this link here, come to Google Colab, we'll go File, Open Notebook, GitHub. You can type in the link there, click Search. What's this going to do? Boom! PyTorch Fundamentals exercises. So now you can go through all of the exercises. This will be the same for every module on the course and test your knowledge. Now, it is open book. You can use the notebook here, the ones that we've coded together, but I would encourage you to try to do these things on your own first. If you get stuck, you can always reference back. And then if you'd like to see an example solutions, you can go back to the extras. There's a solutions folder as well. And that's where the solutions live. So the fundamental exercise solutions, but again, I would encourage you to try these out, at least give them a go before having a look at the solutions. So just keep that in mind. At the end of every module, there's exercises and extra curriculum. The exercises will be code-based. The extra curriculum is usually like reading-based. So spend 1 hour going through the PyTorch basics tutorial. I recommend the quick start and tensor sections. And then finally, to learn more on how a tensor can represent data, watch the video, What's a Tensor, which we referred to throughout this. But massive effort on finishing the PyTorch Fundamentals section. I'll see you in the next section.